Evening campers, it's Kira. We are going to discuss The Mirror and the Light by Hilary Mantel, the last part in the Thomas Cromwell trilogy. And for those who have waited 11 years for this book, it was worth every penny, every second spent reading it, and every page that I turned. If this doesn't win loads of awards, I'll be very disappointed, and I'm already calling it. This will be a thrice winner of the Man Booker. She won it for Wolf Hall, she won it for Bring Up the Bodies, and because she's gonna win it for this one. It was incredible journey. I've not read a trilogy that was so complete, but it's a testament to Mantel's writing. The book picks up on the beat of the second, which is Anne Boleyn's beheading, and what we find out is that King Henry's court are discussing what they should have to eat because they're very hungry and who the next queen will be, and it's very blunt and it's very crude, and it's a perfect way to just jump you straight in to the chaos that is King Henry VIII's court. And the way it's written in regards to, it's very much he, Thomas Cromwell, you're perched over his shoulder throughout the way, which is complete imagery from Thomas Cromwell has a lot of falcons and birds of prey, and you're kind of perched on his shoulder overseeing this chaos, and you're just thrown into it, and it's amazing, completely amazing. Whilst overseeing the action, you also get to hear his internal monologue, and it's more prevalent in this book than any of the others. There's a lot of Cromwell is saying and doing things to characters that they think they know what he means, but as the reader we can go, I see where we're going with this, and his own thought process and how he's manipulated everyone for him to gain power, gain promotions, to the point where he gets a bit of a complex where he wants to become the next king. And there's a bit, I want to say halfway through, where he says to one of the characters, I think it's Jane Rochford, that he should become the king. Like, if Henry cannot provide any heirs, it should be him, because he's running everything. As an aside, I feel Henry VIII is more developed as I think about this. He doesn't feel like he's part of the cast, he's more secondary a character. Yeah, there's a lot of moments where Henry kind of undercuts Cromwell and all of the court to kind of give his own viewpoints, but I don't believe that's as much in Wolf Hall and Bring Up the Bodies, or it's not something that I've noticed, but I've only just thought of it right now. Like, there's a moment where he has to have a theologian debate because he's the head of the church about, is the host the body of Christ, is it Corpus Christi? And rather than having a theologian debate, he comes in dressed in all white as if he's an angel and just says to Cranmer, basically, well, I'm the king, so you can't argue me because I'm going to kill you. And there's this very awkward situation that kind of fetters amongst all the characters, and no one really knows what to do but to agree with him. And it's really beautifully done. And that's probably how I would describe the book, is that there's a lot of tendrils the Mantel feeds out throughout the book, and you don't really know where they are going to come to fruition or when they're going to come back to the forefront. But all that hard work that she does is very quickly resolved towards the last few chapters, where Thomas Cromwell has finally become promoted to Earl of Essex, which is what he wants. And then as you get used to the name change, because Thomas Cromwell becomes Thomas Essex, and as the characters are getting used to the nuances and getting to grips with his promotion, you are quickly plucked from that safe haven and thrown into the Tower of London with Cromwell. And that feeling of, hang on, what is going on here, happens for a good few pages. And I had a flick back and forth thinking, I've missed something, there's a detail I haven't been given to why this has happened, which if you based it from the previous books, that is the general trend. But you'll find out from reading Cromwell's point of view, which is the entire book, he doesn't know himself. He's very much thrown into complete disarray. And his titles mean nothing because he's stripped of them, and his name mean nothing because he's just a prisoner. There's nothing special about him anymore. And you see the demise of Cromwell pass over the latter chapters to the point where it becomes so poignant and poetic. And that sounds it sounds really pretentious to say that, but it's the most poignant bit of the book. There's someone who seeks power, and someone who's more than human, as someone who's above the court and at some points above Henry, because Cromwell's writing the Book of Henry, which is saying that if Cromwell is to die, what the next person should do, because Cromwell feels though he knows Henry more than Henry knows Henry. But aside from that, let's go back. So you're in this situation where he's being interrogated by Norfolk, Colerisley, and Rich. And, I need to, it's reliving it all over again. Cromwell thinks he has all the answers, but he just does not help himself in any way, shape, or form. To the point where you're just like, please stop. Please stop. It's not working. And you just see him digging his own grave, which leads to the point, spoiler alert, he gets beheaded. And he knows he's going to die. And he's told that he's going to die the next day. And what Mantel does is beyond compare. Now, I read in a interview, I think it was in the Times Literary Supplement, but I might be wrong there, that Mantel knew the ending while she was in a Sainsbury's supermarket and just started crying whilst packing her bags because she kind of knew this is how I need to end it. And finishing those final pages where Thomas Cromwell has to kneel down and to become executed, all those emotions come through the page and through her words, and you could tell that she's very careful, she's very precise in how she phrases the death and how to explain what happens in those final moments as the axe comes down. Oh, my cats have arrived. We're talking about the death of Cromwell. Would you like that? Do you like that? He dies at the end. No, it's not a spoiler. It's very much on his Wikipedia page. Sorry for the cat interlude. Where were we? Oh yeah, his death. So yeah, there's very much a... So we see Cromwell come back down to a human level, and the worries that people have when they die or what will happen afterwards, and everything that he thinks of comes down to just himself. He's not worried about the king, he's not worried about who he's leaving behind. He's just thinking, what is going to happen? I would say it happens quickly. And it happens at the right time. And going through those last pages is a very sublime experience, which I would say congratulates Mantel for killing off a character that you have been through for some people 11 years and doing it in a way that just makes everything feel right. I don't feel sad, I don't feel happy. I'm in this state where it just felt right, and it felt poignant and very much an experience that I've not felt from a book in a very, very long time, to the point where I'm making a video, may I add, because it's that confirming to me of how it was everything I wanted. I had very much high hopes for The Mirror of the Light. I read everything I could before this came out. Would it even reach my expectations? I can probably tell from where I am. Oh, it did. It did. And there's a line in the book where Mantel says, "Can you rewrite England?" And she has completely. She has rewritten this very well-written period of the Tudors and completely breathed new light in. And I hope that someone who's watching this will buy this and feel every single emotion under the sun, and know that those last few pages will just take your breath away. That's all I need to say of that matter. Easily like 9 out of 10. Easily. So if you've read this, please do let me know in the comments what you think. If you have any recommendations of books that you want to suggest, please write them down, and I will see you in the next one, where we will be discussing, where is it? Arundhati Roy's The God of Small Things. So if you read it, I look forward to seeing you in the next video, or if you haven't, please do pick up a copy and we can discuss it in the next video. Evening campers.